I'm glad you've come with me, because today we're going to talk about gears. Now, you've often wondered what this gear lever does. Why do you change gears in car? So what happens? It's quite a long story, but it's a very necessary thing. Without gearbox, you can't drive cars. Without gears, you can't do many things. So let me show you how it all works. First of all, you see, now we're in gear, and we need the bottom gear to have maximum pulling power. There we go. And look at that. Engine working very fast. Now second gear, we change gear, you see. Engine working a little slower, and the car runs faster. Now there we are, third gear, hey presto, we're away. And now top gear, and it's running nice and smooth. But now I want to slow down. I want the engine to work for me rather than the brakes, and so I go into third gear. Look at that. I can go even lower and go to second gear. You can hear the engine now. There we are, look at that. Past the narrows, and away we go. Very nice. But it's all hidden inside a box. And the nearest you come to gears nowadays is just looking at this gear lever here. It's not a mystery at all. It's not as complicated as you may think. And it's a nice story which I'd like to tell you today. But for that, I think the best thing is come home inside the workshop with me, and that's where I'm going to show exactly how gears work. Well, we are here, so into the house, into the workshop, and there we are. Splendid. Neutral, no gears, engine off. Now come with me. There we are, it's better. Take that off. It's a bit warm in here. And let's have a look at it. I've got some gear wheels here from my lathe. Look at them. It's a little one. It's got 21 teeth. Little tiny teeth all the way around. And there's a big one, which has got 45 teeth. Now, the way they drive each other is because these little teeth, see if I'm running them around, engage very firmly in the other teeth. Just like fingers moving each other like so, you see? So it's a permanent and safe and strong drive. But what happens? Now watch that. That little wheel, you see, is half the size of the other wheel. So, to make this turn just once, this would have to run twice. What happens, of course, is very interesting, because this needs little power to turn it, whereas the big one develops twice the power. It's in fact a set of levers. Just watch that. So you need very little power to turn the little wheel, and you develop a lot of power on the big wheel. But of course, it goes slower. Now that is very useful. That's extremely useful, but it has a snag. The little wheel turns to the right. The big wheel turns to the left. Now, you don't always want that. So if you want to make a gearbox, you have to say, right, what we now want is we want to transfer that speed to a wheel that goes in the same direction as the little wheel. Now watch that. This wheel turns to the left. The big wheel turns to the right. You should now put another wheel in the same size. That now also turns to the left. Can you see that? That's the beginning of a gearbox. But assuming you want more power, you put another little wheel in, another big wheel, and every time you put another wheel in between that's smaller, where the relationship with one is big and one is small, you increase the power and decrease the speed. And that is very, very, very useful. In a motor car, as I said to you before when we were driving, your father has to change gear because the car goes up a hill, because the car starts. At that moment, you need a lot of power, but you don't need much speed. And that's exactly what the gearbox does. The engine runs fast, and the car runs slow, and develops a lot of power. It helps it to start from nothing. It helps it to climb up a hill. Whereas, once you run on a straight track, you simply throw out that wheel and put another little wheel in. There you are. And then you have the situation as before. That's the top gear. The bottom gear is that. Engine going fast, car going slow. Then, shall we say, is your second gear. Engine going the same speed, car going faster. This is no longer twice the size. Then you have the third gear. Car goes even faster, engine still going the same speed. And finally, you're going to top gear, engine going fast, car going fast. And of course, remember, you put another wheel in between to make the engine always go in the same direction. Now, if you want to go into reverse, that means backwards, then you put yet another wheel in. Now there you are. That reverses the action. I will try and demonstrate it very carefully because it's not an easy thing to show. Here we are. That goes again. To my right, the driving wheel goes to the left. And now if I want to reverse it, put another wheel on it. Now, driving wheel to the right, driven wheel to the left, and the final driving wheel goes to the right again. That is how gearboxes work. And gear wheels are used almost everywhere. In your watch, if it's not an electronic watch, in the clock, in your grandfather clock. It's used almost anywhere where you want to transmit power. So remember, they're strong, they have easy connections with each other, just like fingers touching each other and moving them, just like that. So gear wheels and gearboxes are almost everywhere where you want to change speed or power from one end to the other. You can gain a lot of power, but lose a lot of speed. So, put wheels, gear wheels in between, and drive your bicycle faster. It's called a gearbox. Put it in the car. It goes up a hill without working so hard. Make your clock go at the right speed. Gear wheels are just about anywhere. Put those in, and Bob's your uncle.